I know this is really
sorry.
good. Oh, good morning, everyone. I am Haley Brewer, Communications Manager for the Peoria Area Chamber of Commerce. I am here with Jake Turner, who is a financial advisor at Raymond James. But we are not here to talk about finances.
We are not.
We are here to talk about Family House. So, Jake, can you tell everybody about Family House?
Yeah. Family House is a hospital hospitality house. We have 20 rooms at Family House, and we try to provide home-like accommodations for the family members of patients who are getting service or care at our local and great Peoria area hospitals. So basically what it is either you're coming in for a scheduled kind of like surgery or treatment, the patient, or maybe they're life flighted in, like an accident or something's happening. So the families are coming to Peoria, usually not under the best circumstances, and then we try to provide a nice, safe, very comfortable place for them to stay, obviously at a very reduced price in comparison to what the local hotels would provide.
Very nice. Jake actually serves as the vice president of the board of directors at
Proof
Family
title.
House.
Proof title.
So, how long have you been involved?
I've been with Family House for 5 years. We've lived in Peoria for 5 years. My wife, when she came to Peoria, she wanted to get in the nonprofit scene, coming from Chicago. So when we moved back, she started volunteering at Family House and then got an events director job at Family House. And if anybody has a significant other that is actually involved with not-for-profits, you know that you are also involved with not-for-profits. So then I was already volunteering a lot of my time at a lot of the events and just a lot of things at the house. And then I got asked to be on the board of directors over there, and I've stayed with that for over 4 years now.
Wow. What made you guys decide to move from Chicago to Peoria?
We had a medical issue actually in our family. My wife's father got diagnosed with a brain tumor, a glioblastoma. Those are really, you can't come back from those. And family is a really huge component for us in our lives. We want to be closer to her family so she could spend as much time with her dad before he ended up passing. So we kind of uprooted everything that we had in Chicago, moved here to Peoria.
Wow. Do you like Peoria?
Love Peoria. Actually, like Peoria better than Chicago.
Oh,
if that means
you heard it
anything.
here, folks.
So one of the things about Peoria that I like the best is you actually have the opportunity to get involved in things. Chicago's about 2 million people. Peoria is obviously a lot smaller. I don't even know the number. Do you know it?
165,000.
All right, good.
Did I make that number up?
But you can actually see the impact that you're actually making in the community. So obviously I'm a chamber ambassador as well, get to be involved with that, but then also the not-for-profit board, you could be involved with that too. So you can actually physically see the change that's happening in your community with the contributions that you're making as comparison to Chicago. It's too big if that's something you want to see. So we want to be a positive change in the community that we lived in. So being involved with Family House, with the chamber, it's given me a outlet to do that.
Good. So, Family House actually has their 13th annual golf outing coming up, which you are the chair of.
Yes.
So-
another hat that I wear, yeah.
So perfect. So, can you just sell us on it? Why should we go to this golf outing?
I can give you two main things.
Perfect.
But obviously, so with Family House, we don't get any kind of government funding to run the operations that we do at Family House. So to keep the prices low for the families that are coming in there, we need to do fundraisers. So this fundraiser helps us keep the prices low and the operating costs of the house down. So knowing that, it's even more important for that to happen. With Family House too, we don't actually service people that are in the Peoria area. In regards to a lot of people coming from the outside of the Peoria area to then stay at Family House. So one of those other things too, a lot of people in the area don't know about Family House. So golf outings, some of our other events are a good educational tool that we can use to let the community know about the service that we have. Because a lot of the families that'll come, like I said before, aren't coming under a kind of like a positive situation that they're coming for, but if they have a positive experience while they're here, then they're going to come back and visit, then patron our other businesses, maybe on a different trip, a different time. So hopefully we can be that great first impression for people entering Peoria. But to sell a golf outing, who doesn't like playing golf? Some people is actually the answer. But the 13th annual Family House Golf Outing, it helps us raise funds for that. So it's at Weaver Ridge. It
Nice.
is on Wednesday, June 27th. We have a shotgun start at 12:30, and we do have a lunch that's catered and provided with the entry fee before that by Chick-fil-A, our generous contributors at Chick-fil-A. Who
That
doesn't
sounds
like
great,
Chick-fil-A?
yeah.
I know. That's why we got it. But very affordable rates. It's $150 for an individual golfer, $600 for a foursome, and then we have other sponsorship, really easy sponsorship opportunities along the way that you can tack onto your foursome, or for your business that can't make it out to the golf, we actually have like hole signs as low as $100 per hole. So it's very accessible from a golfing standpoint as well as a sponsorship standpoint. And I will say we have another sponsor from Baumgarten Distributing that we have complimentary adult beverages on the
Wow.
course
Chicken
included
strips
in.
and beer.
Oh, ooh, who doesn't like it? That's what sells me every
Amen.
year. Exactly.
So how can somebody register, or if they have more
Absolutely.
information, how can they find out more about it?
If you go to our website, familyhousepeoria.org, right on the main page there's our events tab that's scrolling, and you click on the golf outing, and you can see all the other sponsorship opportunities that are available there. Or you can email me at my personal email address, turner.jake.t, that's the letter, at gmail.com, and I'll be happy to walk you through any kind of the sponsorship opportunities that we have and get you set up.
Is the T for Thomas?
It's for Trevor, actually.
Ooh,
It's Jacob Trevor
interesting.
Turner. I won't be giving my social security number out, but so far you guys got a lot of information on me.
They can find him. Find him.
Probably.
Okay, so let's say you're a person watching and you think, wow, Family House sounds amazing.
So good,
I want to dedicate my life to serving this establishment.
that'd be awesome,
Like,
yeah.
it'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be
But
good.
they hate golfing.
Yeah.
What are other ways that they can give back?
So good. So we have different areas of opportunity. I would suggest taking a tour of the house first. We do right now have monthly tours that we have scheduled, and you can actually go onto the website to see those tours. Once you're actually in the facility to see like where the families are staying, and it all kind of comes together a little bit more for you. But obviously we have like front desk opportunities. We have opportunities at our events to actually volunteer time. One of the big things that's really accessible that makes a huge impact for our families is our meal program that we have. You can come in, get a group of friends together, come in, cook a meal for the family, so that way when they're coming back from the hospital after being there for a long day, they have a fresh, hot cooked meal prepared. We have 2 kitchens actually at Family House, so it kind of, again, try to provide that home-like accommodations for them so they can actually cook their own meals, but sometimes they're just too tired to do that. I know after a long day, you're probably too tired to cook your own meal as well.
Amen.
And eating, fast food may not be the right thing all the time, so it's kind of nice to come back to a home-cooked meal, but you can get a group of friends together to do that too. And it really means a lot. I will say sometimes not all the families are there, so when you're cooking the meal, you want to put it out, you want to interact and mingle with the families, get to know their stories, but sometimes they're just not there because they're spending the time with their loved ones at the hospital.
That
They
makes
do
sense.
eat all of the food. If it gets boxed up at night, people come back at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, even the next morning, people are coming back and enjoying the food, and they really do appreciate it.
It's a beautiful space, Family House. For anybody who hasn't been there,
Yes.
it's gorgeous. Do you know how many people it can service at one time?
So we've got 20 rooms. So if you have 4 people in a room, I'd say 80 people at once.
Amazing.
I'm totally just throwing
Math.
numbers out there.
Financial
Math.
advisor.
Totally good. But I should get more details on like how many people we serve on a yearly basis. I will say occupancy. We are hovering usually around 85 to 90% occupancy at the
great.
house. So we are a full house with a bunch of different people going through a bunch of different things. We have communal spaces in the house too, so you do get that interaction with the other families, and they can leverage each other to kind of lean out each other what's going on in
That's
their
really
lives. So
nice.
it's really good. Very serene setting at Family House too. That's why I encourage the tour. We're right off of Prospect at the end of Nebraska, kind of tucked back. You wouldn't know
Oh,
it's
yeah,
there at
you would
all,
never find-
which
yeah.
is actually
Probably
part of
good,
the
yeah.
allure to it. When we're having our board meeting, sometimes we see deer that are walking across the window. You would never think so.
Wow.
It's pretty serene.
It's
Pretty
really
serene.
nice.
I enjoy it.
How long, I'm sure it's very different depending on hospital stays, but how long is the typical family at Family House?
That is a great question. We've had stays that have been as kind of like in and out, like one day. And then we've had stays up to 6 to 8 months of
Oh,
people
wow.
actually staying at the house. So it's big. We've got a great mix between families of adult patients and families of pediatric patients as well. So it's a very it's a mix, and we're happy to serve all those people that are coming in. And it's, like I said, it's just a really warm, comforting, inviting environment for them to stay at, as comparison to maybe a cold shell of a hotel that they may not get the support that they need.
Right. Lots of support. Okay, I just have one final question,
Hit
and it's kind of a doozy. There are a lot of great places to volunteer in Peoria that do a lot of good. What is it about Family House that you think sets it apart?
I'll go back to what I kind of said earlier. With Family House, you're not necessarily servicing people that are from the Peoria area that are coming in, because we do have, like, say, a radius of how far you have to live to then be eligible to stay. You're kind of that fresh face of Peoria. You're showing off what's Peoria's best for the hospitality wise of it, so you get a chance to, I don't know, leave a mark on somebody. It's somebody that's going through something, and it's kind of like just taking that one less stress off of them by having them being able to stay at the house. And if that's, again, being able to cook a meal for somebody, that seems really, really easy to do, they appreciate it so much that it makes a huge, huge difference. So it's not always monetary. I mean, we'll take monetary donations, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I mean, sweat equity is just as good. But yeah, I would think the being that welcoming face for somebody means a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Jake. Everybody, make sure to check out the 13th Annual Family House Golf Outing on Wednesday, June 27th at Weaver Ridge. Thank you so much. And then to find out more information, check their website or on Facebook.
We've got some links on Facebook as well to the event, as well as you can email me directly. Yep.
Awesome. Or email Jake, because remember, he gave you his full email, his personal email. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
PeoriaLife.com